All right, so I wanted to welcome everybody here for tonight's meeting on the Lincoln Street project. My name is Michael Garino. I'm in the capital project section for the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, and I want to welcome you all to the meeting. Before we begin, I want to go over some of the guidelines that we have just so everyone can participate and hopefully get the most out of this meeting. I want you to note too that we will be recording this meeting. The recording will get posted on YouTube, and then we'll put a link to that from our project webpage. Microsoft Teams does give an live captioning service, so you can access that by clicking the 3 dots and then choose Turn on Live Captions. So again, you click on the 3 dots. On my screen, it says More, and then choose Turn on Live Captions. We will have a question and answer session after our presentation. And we'll ask you all to basically state your questions out loud. We've disabled the chat feature for this meeting, so we'll just be taking verbal questions instead of written questions. If you're on the phone, please hold on and hold your questions to the end, and we'll have instructions on how you can ask questions at the end as well at the conclusion of the presentation. Before we do get into the presentation, I do want to introduce Mike Wing, who's representing the Providence District tonight, and Supervisor Palchuk. I know Supervisor Palchuk wanted to be here, but was unable to.
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks so much, Mike. Yeah, the supervisor is very excited about this project moving forward and really appreciates residents that are participating tonight to get some more information about this project. Again, the supervisor is very excited about this moving forward. If any questions do come up, feel free to certainly reach out to staff. But if you wanted to forward any of those to the supervisor, I'm certainly the point person for this at this point in time. So feel free to forward it to me also. As I said, I'm anticipating that there'll probably be some more community outreach. Is that correct, Mike?
Yes. We're basically at very preliminary design. So after this meeting, we'll be transitioning this project to our Transportation Design Division in the Department of Transportation, and they'll manage final design. And there'll be additional community outreach, lots of opportunity for input.
Yep. Terrific. Yep. Thanks so much for the intro.
Yeah, thanks. And I'd like to welcome Supervisor Faust, representing the Drainesville District.
Hello, welcome. Good evening, everyone. I appreciate the fact that you're having this meeting. I apologize for being a little tardy. I ended up in the wrong place, but that happens. But anyway, I'm sure the preliminary comments would only be repeating what you've said. I'm excited as this project. It's interesting and somewhat unique, and I think it will be really interesting to hear what the community's reaction is to what's being proposed. So look forward to the meeting.
Thank you. And I also want to welcome Jane Edmondson, also from Drainesville District.
Good evening.
And then finally, just want to acknowledge and welcome Tom Bashadny, who's the Director of the Department of Transportation. Thank you, Tom, for joining. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to Cajun Liu. He's the project manager for us in the Department of Transportation, and he's going to go through and give the presentation. And then afterwards, we'll open up for questions and answers. Cajun?
Hi, thank you, Michael, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending this public information meeting. Today's agenda will first introduce the project team and then talk about the background, why we need this project, and then a little bit more detailed information about the concept design, and then we'll emphasize about how to provide access at the Marguerite Road, and we'll share the preliminary cost estimate and the project schedule with all the audience. And then finally, we'll have the question and the comment session. Once again, my name is Cajun Law. I'm the project manager at the Capital Project Section, Fairfax County Department of Transportation. Michael, who made the introduction for tonight's meeting, and he is a chief at the capital project section, Fairfax County DOT. Also, Abby Lerner, who is the VDOT coordinator to provide all the inputs from our VDOT colleagues here. And Sean Fielding, who is our consultant, HNTB project manager. And although others, we have a group of all the colleagues from FCDOT, VDOT, and HNTB. I could not list all the names here, but it's great teamwork. Without them, we cannot achieve what we have tonight. As you can see on this map, the Tysons is the economic engine for Fairfax and also for Northern Virginia, for the Commonwealth of Virginia. It will expect a growth, substantial growth in the next 40 years, and especially Tysons East area. So Lincoln Street will be a new street, as you can see, circle here in the red. It's on the Tysons East area. Well, we would like to develop a street network to accommodate all the growth, and then rather we don't want to push them to all the like 495, 123, all the major streets. If they can, this local travel, so why not they traveling locally? We provide more accessible road street network for them. And Lincoln Street is a part of this improved road network serving Tysons. And as I said, it's located east of I-495 and Route 123 interchange. It will provide alternative access route from Old Meadow here and to the McLean area by passing portion of Route 123. As I mentioned, the Lincoln Street will be a brand new road. So it's connect Old Meadow Road on the west and Marguerite Road on the east. Northrop Grumman and Mitre, these two big office building, on the north. And this one is the Google map is a little bit old, but now you can see, if you be on street, you can see brand new housing development over there. It's called Union Park at McLean over here. On the south, you can see this. Here's the storage of public storage facility, and this green trees will Park Authority's property, and here is Westgate Elementary School over here, and then we have a bunch of single-family dwelling units on the other side of Marguerite Road. So this brand new Lincoln Street will connect to Old Meadow Road on the west with stop control. So all the traffic coming from Lincoln will stop before it gets to the Old Meadow here. And here's the office building. Here's the public storage facility. So they will will build a bridge across Scott Run. Not only Scout Run itself, but also Scout Run Trail over that. And then keep going to the east. And then, as I said, here is a Northern Grumman, and here's a Park Authority property. Keep going to the east. Here's the Mitre's properties, and here's the new housing development, Park Authority, and the school, Westgate Elementary School. Then the Lincoln will intersect with the existing Marguerite Road over here. And as you can see here, there's what are the two things? There's two mini roundabouts to provide the circulation, to provide traffic onto Lincoln's. I'll show you more closely here. So all the traffic will be stop control over here. So all the traffic go to Lincoln will be right in. So if you're coming from this direction, from let's say from the Route 7 direction, you go through this first roundabout and keep going, and then make a U-turn safely, make a U-turn, and then right into Lincoln. If you're coming out from Lincoln, let's say you want to go to McLean area, and then you make a right turn over here and make a again safely make a U-turn through this roundabout in front of the school, and then keep going through this second roundabout, keep going to McLean area. So it's how it would work. And then we also provide, as you can see, provide crosswalks across this migratory road next to the roundabout with a pedestrian refugee between the lanes. And then we also provide 8-foot wide asphalt walkway between Peabody Drive all the way in front of this joining units to another roundabout in front of Violet Ridge Place. Here is how it looks like Lincoln Street itself. This portion, this part is close to connect to the old Meadow Road, and on the left here is that would be the office building. On the right, see the existing building will be like public storage room. The building, there's a buffer separate, so there's not immediately connect to the building itself. We have considered about that. The traveling will be 11-foot wide, one lane each direction, with a buffer separate with on the north side, we have a 10-foot asphalt sidewalk, and on the south side, we have a 6-foot concrete sidewalk and a standard curb and gutter here. On the bridge, will be the new bridge will be traveling will be wider, 13-foot wider each direction, and also we have a little bit wider 10.5-foot concrete sidewalk on both direction on the bridge. Once you go over the bridge, keep going the east. As you can see on the right side will be Park Authority because of great difference. We will build some retaining walls and then similar lane configuration as before. And once it's approaching to the Westgate Elementary School, and we'll build some fence to separate the properties over there and the same configurations. For Margaret Road itself, we'll use a median to separate it, so prohibit the left turns. Otherwise, human beings, if we not physically separate them, maybe some people will do some crazy drive. We don't want to see that will be potential hazard for the safety concern. So we use a median to separate them, and we will keep the shoulder parking because currently there's a shoulder parking. We'll keep that, and then as I said, provide a 8-foot asphalt sidewalk in front of all the joining units, and then also on the other side too. There's a zoom in to see close look about the first mini roundabout in front of school and the Peabody Drive. As you can see, this approach is a one-way only. One-way in is for the school bus entrance. So one-way only, no outgoing traffic from this portion. And all the traffic will make a circulation. That okay. Here is another roundabout in front of the housing development. It's called the Violet Ridge Place. And similarly, all the traffic will do this circulation through that. We have tested the turning radius. The school bus, no problem. So the kids riding on the school bus will feel not bumpy, not go over the curb or the central island. No, they will move running smoothly through this roundabout. So we have a test for that. And as you can see, the pedestrian can cross the McCready Road with a pedestrian refugee island. Here I want to emphasize what kind of efforts we have done to provide this alternative. We call the dual mini roundabouts, because when we first have this concept, the Lincoln is coming as a new street coming onto this McCready Road is a T intersection. Of course, the first thing we say, oh, conventional T intersection, why not? But then we found out, okay, there's a challenge. We have to provide safe access to multi-residential driveways along this McCready Road. If you have a new street coming in, and then just like here, they can freely make a left turn and then make a left turn, then it's not good for the operation of this intersection. And also we have strong safety concern for this. So that's why we have considered multi other alternatives, and then however none of them would work because all the other issues such as maintenance. How can we provide the maintenance without road? Without has to do the snow removal, some of it won't work, and sometimes someone won't be able to accommodate large vehicles like a school bus, fire trucks, and garbage trucks. It's in the residential area. All this is necessary, and then it's a kind of inability to maintain street parking. We currently have street parking, and we want to keep it as much as we can. And most importantly, safety concern. Anything happens, it's not good if there's accident happens because it's poor design. So safety concern is very important in our consideration. Well, for this dual mini roundabout alternatives, it will accommodate all vehicles, including school bus. As I mentioned, we did the turning, this called auto turn, the computer model to run the school bus through this mini roundabout. Should have no problem. Of course, you have to be experienced driver for that. And then it will provide full access to all the properties along the Marguerite Road, because roundabout provide ability for the U-turn safely to do so. I understand there's a little bit of inconvenience for them because they have to write in, write out for that. Well, it will preserve majority of the parking space along the Marguerite Road. So this kind of useful. You want to have a friends visiting you, so you want to have actual parking rather than on your own driveway. And well, even nothing is perfect. There's in this alternative, there's some kind of right-of-way acquisition will be necessary. For others, some even requires even more for that. So after overall consideration, staff recommended dual mini roundabout alternatives. Then currently we estimate the preliminary cost estimate would be totally $47.2 million. And then the good news is this project is fully funded by portion of the state fund, and then the rest will be covered by the local funds. So fully funded project. We do want to move this project forward, provide better roadway to the residents in Tyson's area. The schedule. After tonight's the public information meeting, we'll collect some comments. Then we'll pass, as Michael mentioned, we'll pass to our transportation design division to do the detailed design and then construction. So 90% design would be done in the middle of 2024. So about like 2 years from now. And then the land acquisition will start after that, and then follow with the utility relocation. The construction could begin in the middle of 26, and right now the schedule shows that completed construction by late 2027. Of course, the schedule is subject to change as the project design processes. This is currently just like anticipated schedule. Now, well, this is my presentation, and then thank you for participating in tonight's information meeting. If you want to get more information, please visit the website www.fairfaxcounty.gov/transportation/projects/Lincoln-Street, or you can call our main office 703-877-5600. TTY 711, or email to dotinfo@fairfaxcounty.gov with Lincoln Street in the subject line. Please do mention Lincoln Street because we have so many different projects. Want to show this is for Lincoln's. Or you can send a slow mail to me, Cajun Law, project manager at the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, 4050 Legato Road, Suite 400, Fairfax, Virginia 22033. Well, normally we ask you to provide comments in 2 weeks window, but since the Memorial Day weekend is coming up, so we'll extend it a little bit to Monday, June 6th. And then right now it's your appreciated for you if you can ask your question verbally, like Michael mentioned. If you can go to the click reactions, click the raise hand, the host will call you to ask your question, unmute yourself and ask a question. If you are on the phone, please press the *5 to raise your hand, and when your phone is called, and press *6 to unmute to ask a question. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Cajun. Really appreciate that. So you may see we have a host of staff, consultant, county. I'm not sure if anyone from VDOT was able to make it tonight, but here to answer questions. So please raise your hands. I'll ask panel members to turn on your video if you can, so we know you're going to provide an answer to the question. And if you could introduce yourself the first time you help answer a question, just so folks know who you are, that would appreciate that. So, and then Robin Geiger has been helping us run this meeting in the background. She's going to help us manage the questions. So she will be helping manage that. Do we have any questions yet, Robin?
No questions. We're looking for a raised hand.
All right. So I remember, clicked on the reactions and raise hand.
Good.
All right, I see a hand. Excellent.
Okay. Okay, Linda, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, I use the tennis courts down below Westgate, which directly adjoins this Lincoln Street project. I'm just concerned about what the effect of this construction of this new street will have on the Fairfax County Park area.
So should I go back to that the map probably?
Yeah, go back to that map. We have, while Cajun is getting there, we have coordinated with the Park Authority, and we are able to avoid impacts to their facilities for the most part, Cajun. I don't believe we really have any significant impacts on any of the recreational facilities.
No, we don't. Currently, and the Park Authority, they have their plan to enhance their facilities, and then they are well coordinated with the Park Authority, so they are aware the Lincoln Street is coming, and then we are coordinated closely on this project. So for this tennis, is it showing this tennis court? Is it right? Okay.
Yes, that's
so,
it.
at least so far, I don't think anything Lincoln Street will have provided impact for it now.
Okay, great. That's great news. I'm just wondering if there's how I can find out what the future Fairfax County Parks project is. I guess I'd have to go to Fairfax County Parks.
Yes, Park Authority. They have their own comprehensive plan. They have own project need to be on the next few years. So, yeah.
If you call their main number, they should be able to get you to somebody to help you out.
Very good. Thank you so much.
And thanks for
You're
your
welcome.
question.
Thank you, Linda. Okay. And now, Sheila, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question.
Sheila, can you try to unmute yourself again?
Let's see. Sheila, try it now to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. I see that the intersection for Lincoln and Old Meadow Road is right at basically the second bend on Old Meadow. This is, if you're coming from 123, the first intersection they renamed it. I forgot what they renamed it. But just after that first intersection,
Yeah.
It's not very long. That is where most people accelerate coming off. They've slowed a little bit and then they're continuing to accelerate in that area. Are there any plans for any either yield signs, slow down signs, something that will encourage people not to accelerate right at that intersection?
So basically, you're talking about it's not showing on this map, but it's coming. If you can see, it's somewhere here, right? It's 123
Correct.
here. It's coming, make a right turn over here. After the curve, you're talking about they are kind of speed up from going down, right? Is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think it's it was Colshire.
Yeah, Colshire, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a chain bridge now.
Chain bridge, yeah.
Yeah, they just renamed it.
Yeah, chain bridge. Well, this is the Lincoln Street. I think what you're talking about here is probably is out of the scope of the Lincoln Street itself. But
yeah, let me
yeah.
jump in, Cajun.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
we can look at, so right now we have planned a stop control. So basically a stop sign at Lincoln Street. The volumes projected right now don't warrant a traffic signal, but we can, as we move into final design, we can look at the sight distance and analyze that. It's a good comment, so thank you. And we want to make sure that is safe. So we can analyze that, look and see if there's other things we can do, and if there's something more we need to do at that intersection. So we'll try to address that as we move forward to the next stage of design.
Will that be a three-way or a one-way stop that you're looking at?
This is just a stop for Lincoln's the free flow on the Old Meadow.
Okay, so but the Old Meadow will still continue.
Continue.
Correct.
Yes, Old Meadow still continue based on current design. But as Michael mentioned, when we do the final design, we'll coordinate all the information, consider about all the potential impact.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and I think we have a question now from Greg. Go ahead, Greg, and see if you can unmute your microphone and ask your question. Sometimes it. Okay, Greg, give it another shot.
All right, great. So
Thanks.
my comment was similar to the last one, and the concern about the traffic impact with the intersection of the I guess it's Chain Bridge now at Old Meadow. That intersection is already starting to get busy at rush hour, and you can project that to be a lot busier as construction completes with all the new housing that's going on in that immediate area and also further down Old Meadow. And at that intersection of Chain Bridge and Old Meadow, can be kind of busy and kind of hard to see because you can see there's a curve in the road at that point. Adding another road coming out there would certainly complicate that intersection further down. So it's an impact that I'm glad at least you're starting to think about. Is hey, how does this affect other roads around there? You're not just saying, all right, here's our road, and our scope stops here at the stop sign, but it does have carryover impacts on other roads. So yeah, definitely take a look at how this intersection here would affect traffic at the next intersection, because I can guarantee you it will. Now, another question, which you guys may not have the answer to this, but given that Fairfax County recently opened a new fire station off of Old Meadow, is that station going to service more of like Pemmit Hills now? Because this would give them a path to there, an efficient path.
I'll take that one. I don't think we have that answer. We can coordinate with fire and rescue. on that, but I just would imagine in general, it'll be additional connection and an option for them. So the road can handle the fire truck, so it would be an option for them to use it. And so I would imagine they would, but we would have to just confirm that with them.
Yeah, because that station ostensibly was created to support more of Tyson's, and obviously Tyson's East as that's growing, but with them having an easier path towards neighborhood there at Pemmon Hills, that would give them that station would have a faster response time than the other stations that currently serve Pemmon Hills, which is Dunloring and McLean. And they have to come much further distances, and they have to go through traffic. Whereas this is a local street, which would be a lot faster in terms of response time, and that would, and that's really the concern that I had, was whether they're thinking that that's what they would end up doing, is taking over more of the response to Pemmon Hills, because that's beyond what their original scope was.
I'm fairly confident they didn't take the Lincoln Street project into consideration when they planned that fire station, since that was well ahead of this project. Like I said, we can coordinate with them, but I wouldn't think they were necessarily factoring in Lincoln Street when they located that fire station.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Let's see. And okay, let's see, Sheila. Sheila, go ahead and ask your question. Sheila, will you try again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
They are in the process of finishing the bicycle pedestrian path along Old Meadow Road. Currently, it is on the west side of Old Meadow Road. How is that going to be addressed at this new intersection?
Do you want to go back down to that graphic, Cajun, just where we are?
Yeah, Old Meadow
okay.
over. Yeah, oh yeah, it's still here. Do we have the Lauren? Let's see.
Well, what we're doing is providing crosswalks and curb ramps across the street. Sean, is there anything else we're doing up there?
On the Old Meadow side, we haven't talked a lot about a shared use or a bicycle path on the west side of Old Meadow. We've talked a lot about the pedestrian improvements on the McGarity side.
Right.
But you can see that if that project is completed on the west side, we'll be providing those high visibility crosswalks. And we have the wide connection on our north side of the project, on the north side of Lincoln Street, that would connect that improved facility on Old Meadow to the improved facilities on McGarity via Lincoln Street on our north side. So it would provide a pretty connected corridor.
Thank you. Does that answer your question?
Not exactly. I wasn't sure if at some point it was never fully clarified to the residents in the area at what point that pedestrian bicycle path that is currently being built from the dead end, if you will, at the south end of Old Meadow, going towards 123. At some point, it's supposed to either switch over to the east side of Old Meadow Road or continue on the west side up to 123. That was never finalized when the information was put out to residents in the area. And so that's what I'm trying to find out, is with this intersection where that bicycle path will be intersecting on the west side, on the east side? Will it cross over on the south or north side of the intersection?
So this is Tom Bachadny. I'm the director of Fairfax County Department of Transportation. So what's under construction right now is the bridge across the Beltway, connection to Old Meadow, which is the project that's moving forward. There is a plan for a future project to kind of rebuild the sidewalk on the west side and do it more as a shared use path. But that particular project is not in design yet. So that one of the factors that we will have to address in the design is where does that walkway shared use path cross over to the east side of Old Meadow. But we're that far in the design at this point.
Well, all of the construction trucks are out there. It's been torn up for months while they've been working on it all along Old Meadow here.
We can try and get you some additional information and get back to that. We can post it on the website.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add, I think that's a really good point. My name is Lauren Delmar. I'm active transportation engineer with the county. And I think that's a really good point. We need to look closer at what's happening at this intersection. It's a very small portion of all of Old Meadow. But you're right, the trail is happening on the east side and the south portion. And then eventually there needs to be access to the metro. So we do need to look closer at what type of facility we need just at this little segment that we're affecting.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren. Who do you work with?
With Fairfax County Department of Transportation.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can just send any comments right to me, I can pass it to Lauren, and Lauren can provide some more detailed response to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Greg, do you have another question? Greg, did you have another question?
I do. Thank you. And that has to do with the bridge over Scotts Run. The alignment of this looks like it goes directly over the first bridge on that Scotts Run trail. And I was curious about whether there's going to be what that clearance would be over that. Is this bridge going to be like straight across? Is it going to be an arched bridge, to maintain some height over there? Is there going to be any kind of connection between the sidewalks down to the trail there at Scotts Run? Anything like that?
I think it's a 10-foot, at least a clearance for the 10-foot, right, Sean?
That's correct. The grade of the bridge will provide a minimum of 10 feet of clearance from the riding surface of the pathway below. As far as additional connections, that's something that has been asked in the past, and it's something we haven't planned on yet, but it's one of those questions that we'll continue to explore as the design progresses. Additional connections to that pathway at the bridge. But the bridge itself right now is very, very conceptual. This is a feasibility study to analyze how reasonable it is to put a bridge there. At this point, it's kind of a standard concrete girder type structure with 3 piers. It's not intended to be an arch or anything like that. It would look nice, but it's going to be a straight, flat type of structure. At least that's what we've been showing so far. And again, this is the feasibility study, and additional decisions can be made as we move forward in final design.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And Allie, could you unmute yourself and ask your question? Let's see. Okay, Allie?
Yep. Can you go back to the graphic that shows the McGarrity Road intersection, please?
Sure. Give me a second. This one? Is this one you want to see? The Lincoln connect to the McGarrity?
Yeah. So
Yes, okay.
So, okay. Can the crosswalks at Westgate receive the?
Oh, Westgate, okay.
No, that's right there. That's the crosswalk at Westgate that crosses McGarity. Can those receive the crosswalk indicators in which you can press the button and the lights flash? Because this is the top of the hill. At the crest of the hill is the current crosswalk. The signs are often blocked by construction signs or parked cars or whatever. And that is the walking path to get to an elementary school in which most students of that elementary school are zoned as walkers.
Yeah, it could be considered when we go to the final design with such details. And yes, it's a very good comment. And then I think we will, of course, definitely will consider about this.
Because previously when Pimmet Hills has asked about having enhanced protection for pedestrians there, we've been told that the VDOT studies don't support it. And because there's crossing guards at school, that is sufficient. However, the parents coming to pick up the children are often crossing before the crossing guards are there. And the crossing guards leave within 2 minutes after the bell.
Yes. Yes,
So
I know the situation. I was there.
It's an incredibly small window of opportunity for anybody running late or for kids who might stay after to ask a teacher a question and be leaving a little bit late. But I think if you asked Principal Mrs. Demetrius, even she would tell you that enhancements are absolutely needed coming up the hill to the elementary school.
Yes, I went to there that afternoon about a week ago. I did talk with the principal. I observed a lot of pedestrians are crossing McGrady Road over there. By that time, there was a police car over there to guide it crossing. But of course, as you mentioned, after that, then it's on the pedestrian on their own. Yes, and we'll consider about it. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, we can revisit that discussion with VDOT, and we'll coordinate with our active transportation, which is our bike ped group. That's the group Lauren's in, and we can see if that's something we can add in or not. Thanks, a good comment. Thank you.
And I have a question about the current construction, which you may or may not be able to answer. Just right of where Lincoln Road comes up, where this construction is going on for these townhouses, McGarity heading in a southwest on this image was recently striped to have 2 lanes that disappears into one with no signage. And it's not a turning lane. There's just a solid line, then a dashed line starting from Anderson. Do you know what the intent of how that's supposed to work?
I don't know offhand.
I'm
not sure if anyone on the call, does anyone on the call happen to have information on that one?
That looks like a parking lane. It's a solid white marking on the pavement. So it looks like as a parking lane. It's not a travel lane. And actually, as I mentioned a week ago, I went to there to observe the school dismissal period. I saw a lot of cars parking inside this parking lane over there. Yeah.
Okay, well then I think it's missing some striping if it's supposed to be parking, because the striping does not return to the curb like the start and end of a parking spot, and there are spots where it's dashed. So it's unclear, and cars turning from Anderson nobody seems to know what to do with it. So if there's someone from VDOT here, kind of not project specific to this, who could look at it and figure out what it's supposed to be, something doesn't seem right.
Yeah, we can follow up on that.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. Yeah, we'll coordinate with VDOT to address your comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Allie. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? We still have time to answer a few more questions if you all would like to ask some or make a comment.
Cajun, do you want to go to the contact information slide?
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Okay.
Thanks. So I'll give you all a minute to think. I just want to remind you, though, that we'll accept comments till June 6th. If you think something on June 7th, please send it our way. don't not send it. But we just like to have a closing date so we can compile the comments and kind of wrap up our package and really try to nail down what things we need to look into as we move into the next stage of design. Just want to remind everybody that we have our project website at www.fairfaxcounty.gov/transportation/projects/Lincoln-Street. You can always call it 703-877-5600, TTY 711. You can email us at dotinfo@fairfaxcounty.gov, and please put Lincoln Street in the subject line. Even if you have a question like the ones brought up tonight that weren't maybe specific to the Lincoln Street project, please put Lincoln Street in the subject line for now, so that way it'll route the Cajun and we'll know it's was related to this meeting and what we discussed. And finally, you can write, address it to Cajun Lou, project manager at the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, 4050 Legato Road, Suite 400, Fairfax, Virginia, 22033-2895. Just a reminder, go ahead, Robin. You go.
I was just going to mention, as Michael said earlier, the recording of this meeting will be posted on this particular website. So if you have neighbors and friends who might be interested to learn about what was discussed at this meeting, please share that with them as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. For this.
Yes. Oh, go ahead, Cajun. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, yeah. You go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. I don't think we have any people calling in, but just in case, I wanted to remind people that you hit *5 to raise your hand, and then press *6 to unmute, just in case you don't want to miss anybody. All right. Well, I think that's it then. I want to thank you all for attending to learn about the project. Please submit comments if you think of something or have additional questions later. Try to get them in before June 6th if you can. I also want to thank all the staff who participated tonight, and of course, Supervisor Pass, Jane Emerson from Janesville, Mike Wing from Providence District.
Yep, thanks
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
So
Thank
with
you all.
that, I will
Thank you,
conclude the
guys.
meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.